We need to reduce plastic waste in the environment.
That's why at America's beverage companies,
our bottles are made to be remade.
Not all plastic is the same.
we're carefully designing our bottles to be 100% recyclable, including the caps.
They're collected and separated from other plastics,
so they can be turned back into material that we use to make new bottles.
That completes the circle and reduces plastic waste.
Please help us get every bottle back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the RealClearPolitics Takeaway for Tuesday, May 17th. I'm Tom Belvin, co-founder and president of RCP.
And I'm Carl Cannon, Washington Bureau Chief. Before Tom and I get going this morning, I'd like to thank our sponsor, the American Beverage Association. Tom, Pennsylvania, primary day.
Well, big primary day all across the country, Carl, including North Carolina's got a big Senate race there, but all eyes are on Pennsylvania, in particular the Senate race, which is a three-way contest with Dr. Oz, Kathy Barnett, and David McCormick. Trump has obviously weighed in on behalf of Dr. Oz. And there's questions about whether there's an upset brewing, Carl.
Well, that's right. Kathy Barnett, African-American woman, has come out of nowhere. They've thrown everything at her. Donald Trump has sounded like an establishmentarian. He's brought the hoariest argument that the duopoly ever uses against outsiders. She's not electable. Well, she may be she may be unelectable, but the Democrats have a primary too. Connor Lamb was thought to be the centrist candidate who the Joe Biden era Democrats, Scranton Joe, would rally behind. He's trailed Lieutenant Governor Fetterman all along. Lieutenant Governor announced over the weekend he's recovering from a stroke. I haven't seen dent the polls yet. He's expected to win that. But Kathy Barnett, is she unelectable? She said intemperate things about Muslims and gays in her sort of talk show incarnation. We have a column on our site this morning, a guest column from a former journalist, now a lawyer from Philadelphia named Jim Greenfield, who challenges that, Tom. He says, you know what, she may be unelectable, but he thinks not. He says she's African-American. She's got a great life story. Up from the bootstrap story. She can talk about critical race theory in a way these others can't. She can challenge Fetterman on COVID protocols and school closings, which she opposed and he supported. And he challenged that. So I encourage people to read it. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but it's an interesting idea, and I hadn't seen it out there yet.
Yeah, I mean, the final polls have come out in this race, and Oz is up 2.6 percentage points in our Real Clear Politics average. Barnett is second, and McCormick's fallen off a little bit. It looks like it might be more of a two-person race, so we'll wait and see. The other race, Carl, is the governor's race, and in particular the Republican race. And this has got, again, a lot of controversy surrounding this race. Mastriano is leading in the polls by double digits. He received Trump's endorsement just recently. And there are a lot of folks, I've talked to a couple different Republicans who think that, he is going to drag the ticket down if he wins, that he is too conservative, too strident, and that he's going to potentially sink the entire ticket. But others think that he'll help turn out the base and get the job done. Any thoughts on the governor's race, Carl?
Well, this is a thing where Donald Trump didn't get involved early. This time he picked a front runner. It's Preakness week, so I'm thinking of horses. He picked somebody he thought was going to win. Trump is clearly meddling in these races for reasons of he's building his own brand back up. He's trying to position himself as the Republican Party kingmaker. So here he picked what he thought was a winning horse. But you're right. If he doesn't win in November, I don't know how much it matters. We had another column by Howard Feynman, an analytical piece, well-known Washington journalist who writes for us. And Howard kind of, who's a native Pittsburgh area, he kind of resents Trump getting involved. He thinks he's mucking up Pennsylvania. And Pennsylvania was always this moderate state where moderate Republicans, that's who won statewide, rather. And you may not get a moderate Republican this time on the state ticket at all.
Well, I mean, I would disagree with that argument a little bit. I mean, Rick Santorum is not a moderate. Pat Toomey's not really a moderate either. Pretty conservative guy.
He's right in the middle, Tom.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. All right. Well, we'll leave it there for this morning. Primary day, May 17th. 2022. I'm Tom Bevan, co-founder and president of Real Clear Politics.
I'm Carl Cannon, Washington Bureau Chief. I again like to thank the American Beverage Association for sponsoring this podcast, and this has been the Real Clear Politics Takeover for Tuesday, May 17th, 2022.
We need to reduce plastic waste in the environment.
That's why at America's beverage companies,
Our bottles are made to be remade.
Not all plastic is the same.
we're carefully designing our bottles to be 100% recyclable, including the caps.
They're collected and separated from other plastics.
So they can be turned back into material that we use to make new bottles.
That completes the circle and reduces plastic waste.
Please help us get every bottle back.